It is currently 2:44 a.m. and I'd like to say that this is not a usual thing, but this is pretty normal for me. In the last 7 days, the average time I've gone to bed at is 3:22 a.m. In the last 30 days, it's been 2:20 a.m. And in the last 6 months, it's been 1:58 a.m. So like I said, this is pretty normal for me. I mean, those are averages, so sometimes I go to bed a lot earlier than that. But at the end of the day, I really am a night owl, and for the most part, I actually don't have an issue with that. I really like the quiet and the stillness of the late hours. I find that it brings me a lot of peace. And also, I find that those are some of my most productive and creative hours. But sometimes I'm also admittedly just scrolling on my phone or watching a movie or a TV show or reading until way too late. And sadly, lately, it's been a little bit of insomnia. And I desperately want to change this because the flip side of going to bed so late is that I either don't get enough sleep, so I'm completely exhausted and sleep deprived, or if I do get the recommended 7 to 9 hours of sleep, that means I'm waking up in the 10 to 11:30 a.m. window, and by the time I've showered and gotten ready and everything, this means my day is not really getting started until noon or later, and I'm really not liking that feeling lately. I mean, not to mention that society's not really built for that, really. So I've made a game plan. It's really very simple in theory. Going to bed earlier plus waking up earlier equals morning person. Now, I'm using the term morning person very loosely here because I think when we hear that, we immediately think of someone that wakes up really early, like 5 or 6 a.m. And that is just not the goal for me, okay? It's not realistic for me to be waking up at those times and still be going to bed at a time that I feel comfortable with and be getting the right amount of sleep, because I still want to keep some of my late night hours that I feel that I'm very productive for. So my goal wake up time is gonna be sometime between 7:30 to 8 a.m. And the recommended amount of sleep is between 7 to 9 hours. But for the sake of this challenge, I'm just gonna make my own goal be to get around 8 hours of sleep. And this means that if I want to be waking up between 7:30 to 8 a.m., I have to be falling asleep sometime between 11:30 to midnight to get those 8 hours. But I'm not going to be trying to do this all at once, okay? I think the key to doing this is to have some nice gradual change, okay? So I think I need to be shifting my sleep schedule by 30 minutes every day. That means that on night 1, I'm gonna be trying to fall asleep by 2:30 a.m., night 2 by 2 a.m., night 3 by 1:30 a.m., and so on until I get to my goal. And obviously the same thing applies in the morning, to be trying to wake up 30 minutes earlier every day. And that is the game plan, and hopefully I would have gotten to my goal sleep schedule by the end of this. Now, I think that it's like past 3 in the morning now. I've clearly had my little creative, productive time. It's time for me to go to sleep, and I will see you tomorrow for the first day of this challenge. It is night number 1. I just did my skincare and it is currently 1:14 a.m. Now the goal for tonight is to be falling asleep by 2:30 a.m. and to get those 8 hours to be waking up by 10:30 a.m. And so you might be thinking, what are you already doing in bed at 1:15 a.m.? Well, I figured I just shouldn't go on my phone and have like no blue light screen time for the next 30 minutes. So I'm gonna be reading a book for those 30 minutes instead. And by then it'll be like 1:45 a.m. and I'll still have 45 minutes to try to fall asleep by 2:30 a.m. just because I've been having so much difficulty trying to fall asleep quickly. So hopefully 45 minutes will be enough and I'll be asleep by then. But yeah, we'll see. I have my little sunrise alarm clock on my bedside table right there, which is also like my bedside lamp, and I have my book, and I will catch you up in like 30 minutes. Okay, it is 1:44 a.m. I'm gonna try to fall asleep now. I'm crossing my fingers by 2:30 a.m. I'll actually be asleep. I'll update you in the morning, but for now, good night. Good morning. It is 10:23 a.m. It's not focusing, but there's the proof. 10:23, 10:24 now. I had a really hard time falling asleep last night. I feel like it took me, yeah, like 45 minutes to like an hour to fall asleep, and then I kind of woke up a little bit throughout the night, so I'm still a little bit tired, but I think I got a decent amount of sleep. It's embarrassing that I'm tired because it's 10:20 a.m. and whatever, but we all gotta start somewhere, and this is the starting point. I do have somewhere to be, so that's good, because otherwise, embarrassingly, I might just like roll back into bed and sleep a little bit more. But yeah, day one. It is night number 2 and my face is a little shiny because I just did my skincare, but let me talk about the real problem here, okay? It is 1:37 a.m. now, and I'm supposed to be falling asleep by 2 a.m. Now you might be thinking, what's the problem? It's 1:37, 2 a.m. You're totally fine. The problem is that lately, I've been having issues falling asleep. It's taking me like 45 minutes to an hour, sometimes even way more than that to actually fall asleep. So for me to be falling asleep in the next 20-ish minutes is not exactly doable, especially because I haven't had a lot of wind down time. Like yesterday I read a book and everything. I've actually just been sitting on my laptop in this like productive flow session, creative session, and I completely lost track of time. Remember what I said about my late hours being some of my best hours? Well, that's what just happened. But to try to fall asleep really quick, I'm actually gonna be taking some melatonin tonight, and hopefully it works for me tonight. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but I'm really hoping it does because I need to make this goal time to be able to get those 8 hours, at least just so that I get some kind of decent sleep. But yeah, good night. I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. It is 9:58 a.m. right now. Despite having the melatonin, it still took me a long time to fall asleep. I feel like I probably got like 6 hours of sleep, so not quite the goal of the 8 hours, but it could be worse. It could be worse, so it's fine. I am gonna force myself to just get out of bed now. It is 10 a.m. and get my day started, and then hopefully that'll actually make me tired enough to like get better sleep tonight. So yeah. It is night number 3 and I am not messing around today, okay? It is currently 12:15 a.m. and I'm starting my wind down right now. I'm gonna be doing my nice little skincare routine, and then I'm gonna read a book for like 15 to 20 minutes, and hopefully I'll be able to fall asleep by the goal time of 1:30 a.m. tonight. Yeah, great. Do you wanna do my skincare with me? Do you wanna maybe? Okay, I'll speed it up for you, don't worry. You don't have to watch the whole thing. I hope editing Lena is putting some like good little funky music over this, you know, entertaining you guys somehow. My face is clean now. My skin is saying thank you for this nice niacinamide. You're welcome. You're so welcome. Sarah V, if you're watching this, which I know that you're not, but if you watch this, please sponsor me. I am just a girl. Okay friends, skincare is done. Time to go and read for like 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, I read a little bit longer than I was intending to. It is now 12:52 a.m. I'm gonna try to go to sleep now, and that gives me 40 minutes to try to be asleep by 1:30. Guys, It is 2:02 a.m. I can't seem to fall asleep. Oh my god. I feel like I'm so used to going to bed later. I'm having so much difficulty. Wish me luck, I guess.
You must break the pattern today or the loop will repeat tomorrow. You must break the pattern today or the loop will repeat.
I kind of forgot that I set my alarm to be that thing that says, "You must break the pattern today or the loop will repeat itself tomorrow." And I will say, it was kind of motivating to actually get up. So I would recommend it. Maybe I'll leave the audio link down below if you guys want to use it as well. But yeah, 9:30, gonna wake up. That's the second alarm. Yeah, cool. Good morning. Hello friends, I washed my bed sheets today and I have this new set that I recently just got, this new color, which I really like, and I also have a new set of pajamas for this week. It's Sunday, so that's why, and I'm feeling good. I feel like clean bed sheets make things feel good, so that's great. It is, however, 12:27 a.m. and I have to be asleep by 1 a.m. so it only gives me half an hour, and I do want to journal for a little bit of time, so we'll see. I mean, the effort is there. I think I am gonna take melatonin. I'm gonna take melatonin, for sure. Yes. Yes, that's a good idea. Now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like I should skip the journaling. I'm gonna skip the journaling. I'm gonna save it for tomorrow night because I do only have half an hour to fall asleep. And I can get carried away putting my thoughts on paper, so I'm gonna go to sleep now. Good night. Yeah, I have to turn off the camera. Okay. Good night. Good night. Hello everybody. I woke up later than the goal time. It is 9:19 now. Not the worst. Had a little bit of a rough night. But it's okay. It's not crazy late. It's okay. Good morning. It is currently 11:23 p.m. and I just realized I haven't told you guys about one of the things that's made this process a lot easier, and that is my little sunrise alarm clock. As you can see, it can be pretty dim and it goes pretty bright as well. I tried to film it doing its thing earlier, but I just couldn't do it justice with the camera. I think it like tries to overcompensate for the lighting or something, but essentially it simulates the sunrise, obviously. So I have it set for like a period of 20 minutes, so it starts very, very dim, and then by the time those 20 minutes are up, it goes as bright as I make it be. I have it on the brightest setting, I think, and I just find that having light makes waking up a lot easier and like a lot less jarring, and then obviously my alarm sound will go off by the time that 20 minutes are up, but it just makes life a lot easier. I really like it. And I also do use Sleep Cycle for my alarm, so the combination of those two things has been helpful. I also do have backup alarms just with like the regular iPhone clock app. But yeah, I thought I would tell you guys about this. I'm gonna leave this one linked in the description box down below, and also it'll be like in my Amazon storefront, but you can also check some other ones out. I know that there's a bunch of these if you like the idea. But yeah, for tonight's little unwinding activity, I'm just gonna journal for a little bit and hopefully be asleep by 12:30. I'm very sleepy. It is currently 8:34 a.m.
Here's what I found.
That was jarring. Also, why is it 34 plus 35 by Ariana Grande? Did anything I say sound remotely like 34 plus 35? I guess 8:34. Yeah, good morning. It's funny because I don't even think this is considered like that early for most people, but just because my sleep schedule has been so out of whack, it feels pretty early for me right now. A little bit embarrassing, but it's okay. I will see you tonight. Hello friends, I just finished reading and it is currently 11:32 p.m. and I'm not gonna lie to you, it feels weird to be in bed already. It feels a little bit too early and I swear my brain is like, what are we doing, girl? Like, it's about to be prime time. It's about to be the most productive and the most creative time in the day. What are we doing going to sleep? This is definitely a very big adjustment because I just feel like my most productive hours have definitely been between like midnight and like 2 to 2:30 a.m. and here I am in bed. I did take melatonin like 20 to 25 minutes ago when I started reading, so it should be kicking in and I should be falling asleep by noon. By midnight. A different kind of 12, but still. Yeah, I should be falling asleep. Wish me luck. I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. It is currently 8:10 a.m. I feel like I got pretty decent sleep last night, so that's great. I do feel like it's getting a little bit easier as time goes on. It still feels like it's pretty early, which I know you guys are like, 8 a.m. is not even that early, but it feels early for me. Hopefully it won't feel crazy early for much longer. It'll just feel like normal. But yeah, good morning. It is currently 11 p.m. and tonight is the last night of this little challenge thing. And I'm gonna do a true test for this thing tomorrow. So I'm not gonna set an alarm at all tomorrow. I'm gonna see what time my body naturally wakes up. And if this thing worked, it will be in the 7:30 a.m. to 8 a.m. window. Hopefully that works out. I have my tripod set up right now, so all I have to do when I wake up is just turn this on. I'm gonna put my phone upside down on my nightstand. I'm gonna turn off the little clock display on my alarm clock, and we're gonna find out together if this thing worked. And yeah, I'm kind of excited. It should be good. Good morning. I just woke up. I just turned on the camera. So we are going to check together what time it is. I'm only hoping that it's not crazy late. But let's take a look and see. Okay. Okay, that is not too bad. It is currently 8:39 a.m., obviously. That is not too bad. Like, okay, it is not in the goal window of 7:30 to 8 a.m., but all things considered, it is way earlier than I have been waking up for a long time. And for that to just be like the time that I naturally woke up at, I'm gonna take this as a win. I feel like that's pretty good. I'll take it. And I'm sure it'll only keep on getting better if I keep on doing this. Yay! I'm kind of happy about that. Like, not the goal, but not too far off from the goal. So that's good. Okay. Good morning.